Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Most of the people get hundreds of ideas. Very few of them take action and start something. But almost all of them, 99% of them, just give up after probably just one rejection, couple of challenges, few blows, right? They just give up and go back to whatever they were doing. Do you know what the difference is between successful startup leaders and the unsuccessful ones? There's just one difference, and the difference is the unsuccessful ones just gave up, right? That's it. That's the only difference. And the successful entrepreneurs just kept going against all odds. In this episode, let's find out how do these successful startup leaders keep going against all odds, against all challenges, when most of the successful ones, or most of the people just give up. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Inside the Minds of Successful Startup Leaders. Join me in this journey as I try to unravel what happens inside the minds of these successful startup leaders. How do they think? Why are they successful? Join in. In my last episode, I spoke about finding the purpose, right? For being this successful entrepreneur, and all successful entrepreneurs, leaders, um, you know, for them, their purpose is completely aligned with their startups. Purpose is very simply put, um, can you do something for the next 10, 20 years without worrying, if there's going to be success, will you make money, right? Um, Nothing matters. This is something that you really enjoy doing. This is fulfilling. Every single day for the next 10, 20 years. Can you know, not wait to get up, right? Like just jump out of the bed. The first thing you think is this, right? That's your purpose. That's about doing something that really, really motivates you, that defines you, and that you really enjoy doing. In my last episode, I also spoke about this concept called Ikigai, a Japanese phrase that simply stands for finding your life's purpose. Um, let's bring that concept to starting something, right? Can this startup of yours become your life's purpose? Very simply put, there are four aspects of Ikigai. Um, find something that you really enjoy. Find something uh, that you really enjoy and you're also good at. Uh, Also, can this be something that people want? The third thing. And the fourth one is, can people also pay for it? Right? These are the four pillars of Ikigai. Find something that you're good at. Find something that you like. Find something that the people will want, and something for which they'll pay you, right? So if you can find that one thing where all these four aspects can be fulfilled, you have a successful uh, story, and something that you can kind of sustain for a long period of time and take all those blows and challenges and rejections and still get up and fight, and not give up. So, in this episode, let's find out how do we find that purpose, the first pillar of Ikigai, that is finding something that you really enjoy doing and eventually you will become good at. doing it because you keep doing this because you enjoy doing it. Everyone talks about it, about finding purpose. It's easy to talk, but finding one is the toughest of all. So in this episode, let's go deep and figure out what does it take to find your purpose. So I'll give you a simple framework that will let you kind of find one very quickly and very easily. Close your eyes for a minute. There's no one looking at you, no one judging you, none of your family, friends, relatives, folks that you know, no one knows what you're thinking about or what you're going to be doing. So just close your eyes, um, and then now start thinking. Ever since you were a kid, was there something that you really enjoyed doing? It could be anything, right? Don't worry about uh, you know thinking will it work. This is nothing to do with that. This exercise is just about finding what are those things that you really loved or have really liked, and for whatever reasons you've not been able to do that, right? It could be as a kid, you really enjoyed dancing. As you were growing up, probably you enjoyed coding, um, selling, marketing, building. It could be anything. Can you think of one, two things that you really, really, really enjoyed, and you could like just keep doing that all your life, right? And don't even worry about how will this translate into a business, right? We'll come to that. But this phase is about just thinking about what is it that you really like or you liked, as you were growing up the last couple of years, right? Just do that for a minute and write that down, right? If there are more than one things that you've really liked, write all those down on a piece of paper. That you've written it down, can you just get started? This is step two, right? Don't even worry about, you know, your, don't even think for a minute, how will this translate to me building a startup, right? Don't worry about that. We'll get there. This step is about just getting started on what you like in purest form, right? Don't be driven by your anxieties, fears, frustrations, expectations, nothing, right? It's just about getting started on what you've loved doing. It could be really absurd, and doesn't matter. This is just about getting started, right? Nobody really needs to know, right? Can you just get started on your own with absolutely zero expectations? This is step two. Step three. Um, let's say you've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, months, and you've really started enjoying it, right? And you've really not given it a thought on how will this translate to me starting something, right? Don't worry about that. You've just been enjoying this the last couple of weeks, months. Nobody needs to know about this, right? Now comes step three. Now start thinking about I'm enjoying this. How can what I'm doing add value to people's lives, right? Start thinking on those lines. Like if I'm painting, right, how can my paintings add value um, in someone's life, right? Um, if you can start thinking on those lines, this is that step three, right? Coming back to our four pillars of Ikigai, you started doing what you really love. Uh, you're getting good at it because you like this so much. You keep doing this, which means you keep getting better at it every day. Now look at the third pillar. which is how can, with what I'm doing, can I start adding value, right? Start researching on the internet. Are there business models around what I'm doing? Right? Can that add value to people's lives? Right? If it's like going back to this example of painting, right? Can I paint? Can I build a marketplace of paintings? Right? Or my paintings, can I kind of probably paint something that's of a certain genre that could help somebody. Right? I'm just vaguely talking about this, and it could also be in this area, right? Like in this um, domain of painting. What are the other business models? Right, and I'll give you a simple example. There's this startup called Paint Night, right? Where people that that want to learn painting, they all get together uh, over drinks. They start painting. This is led by an instructor, right? So you could build a platform. I mean, I was just giving an example. So there are various ways around painting that you could build something that's going to be valuable, in somebody's life. So can you start thinking about that? This is step three. Step four, um, last three steps, especially step three. Now that you've been enjoying something that you've been doing for last couple of months and you've becoming better at it, and you've also started thinking on how can what I'm doing or the business models around what I'm doing, how can they be valuable in someone else's life? Now start talking to people around this, right? Like join a community online, offline. Start talking about that, asking people if this is of any value. Are there any other ways to add value in this domain that you're really enjoying? So now comes step four, where you also start asking people if they would pay for something like this, right? Something, uh, like I said, you could come up with a model, a business model in this domain that you like, and also start asking people if they would want to pay for it, pay for something like this, right? And you kind of start spending time because you are enjoying this so much. One rejection, I'm sure as you start talking to people, probably you'll have to talk to maybe 100 people before you get some solid answers. But before that, I'm sure 50, 70 of them, there would be like rejections. People would not even want to talk to you, vague answers. All of those will happen. But this is something that you enjoy doing. So you really don't mind those rejections, right? That's the whole point. So step four, find something that people would pay for, and now we are all set, right? And this is the time you kind of very quickly prototype, put it out there, validate, and again the same thing would happen, right? As you do all this, there'll be a lot of rejections, right? You, I'm sure you won't get this right in like the first go. There'll be hundreds of rejections, challenges, but you gotta keep going, right? And you will, because this is something that you like and you're enjoying and you're becoming good at. Remember, it's all about the journey. You're not doing this for money. You're doing it because you're deeply passionate about this. This is the only thing that you can think of now, and you're in it for the long haul, right? Remember, next 10, 20 years, you're okay doing this and not worry about if this is going to be successful, if you're going to be making money, right? That's probably those are the byproducts of what you're doing. But nevertheless, next 10 years, 20 years, you're going to be enjoying this, and this is all you can think of. You don't ever listen to a song to listen to the ending, do you? You want to kind of listen to that song for the entirety of the song, right? Like you really enjoy the entire song. Exactly the same analogy. Right? Startup is not about the end game or the end states and the exits and the money. It's about enjoying this journey. If you don't, believe me, there's no way you're going to be successful, right? Because unlike project, unlike work, unlike education, startup is all about, probably 10 years, uh, no light at the end of the tunnel, um, right? And there's no, you're not sure if something's going to happen. So, you gotta, gotta enjoy what you're doing. That's the only way you're going to be able to survive this treacherous journey. Remember, whenever you face those lows, challenges, frustrations, again go back to the first point, which was why in the first place did you get into this purpose? And now think about this. You don't have to solve this today, right? It's startups are marathons, they're not sprints. So it's okay, you have time and you're enjoying this. Remember the 1% rule. As long as you're improving by 1% every day, that's all that matters. And like I said, startups are not sprints, they are marathons. You don't have to do everything tomorrow or today. You have time, you're enjoying it. Remember, there's no competition. It's always me versus me. As long as I'm improving, performing better, that's all that matters. There's no competition. It's always me versus me. And I've got to enjoy what I'm doing, got to add value, and I am always have to remember that I am in this for the long haul. That's all, folks. Hope you liked the video. Uh, Please subscribe to my channel, and always, as always, hit me up on LinkedIn, Twitter. If you want to talk to me, happy to help you. Share my experiences of, for the last 20 years I've worked in corporates. I've built products at like $5+ billion. I've been an entrepreneur, raised venture capital for my own startup. I've mentored hundreds of startups, so happy to help. Thank you.